A question. How many of us feel that we are part of a faculty driven B school? Most of us are in a particular B school today. So, how many of us feel that we are in a faculty driven B school, as the topic suggests? So, I would say a close majority. And for us, as you saw with some of the speakers before me, most of us feel that we are in some sort of faculty driven B school. So, the important thing is, how do we define a faculty-driven B school, and what process does our institution have to make sure that the B school is driven by faculty, if we indeed feel that that is necessary? So, for us, we feel that to be faculty-driven or to be driven by employees in the case of a company or even in the case of a B school, it's important that you create the tools and processes of faculty to engage with other stakeholders, most importantly with the institution, its values, its philosophies, with other fellow faculty members. You can't take for given that as an institution, faculty will engage with each other if you don't create the right sort of processes for them to do it. And lastly, probably the most overlooked one, are you creating processes in an institution where faculty are able to reflect and engage with themselves and feel whether they are using their best abilities and developing themselves best to progress their careers and in turn serve the institution. I can't agree more with Professor Himadri Das when he said that the most important tool of becoming a faculty-driven institution is that you should create space where faculty members and other employees are allowed to speak, and there are forums where there are people to listen to what they have to say. So I think I want to talk about the sort of unique processes that we are following at the Jaipuria Institutes of Management, whereby we believe faculty take pride in their jobs and are able to drive our growth and our success in turn. So firstly, engagement with the institution. We've spent a large amount of time where the faculty has been an active stakeholder in developing the mission and vision of the institution. Other than the mission and vision of the institution, which I think today most institutions have one, we also have some core philosophies which are maybe different from other institutions. And we spend a lot of time discussing these with faculty and getting their buy-in. We are an institution that's based out of 4 campuses, and something that we started with almost 8 or 9 years ago was on-campus. We felt that all our stakeholders, whether it's students, whether it's faculty members, employees, industry partners, should feel that when they engage with Jaipuria Institute of Management, they should get a unique service delivery that's common irrespective of the campus that they engage with. If you come and join our campus A, you should be able to benefit from the abilities and from the value deliveries across our group. So this is something that we spend a lot of time with faculty, and today I feel that faculty use this word much more often than somebody in the management does. So it's something that has been ingrained in our philosophy, not only as an institution, but in each faculty member's language. Another thing I want to talk about is transparency. We believe that the more transparency we can create, the better. At Jaipuria, as a faculty member, as an employee, if you want any sort of data for your campus, for any other campus, for what somebody else is doing, that data is available to you. Again, this is a philosophy that we've spent great time harping upon and has become an important part of our culture. So we continue to invest time and effort in making faculty and all other stakeholders internalize and own the philosophies that we stand for at Jaipuria, give them time and effort to speak for it, against it, but eventually it's something that you cannot take for granted. If you want to stand for something as an institution, you have to spend a great deal of time, effort with faculty members, with your other employees, in making sure that they own these philosophies. The second one, faculty's engagement with fellow faculty members. I feel standing here for the 10th year, I was never supposed to be a teacher, but I feel like one today. The greatest learning we can have within a B school is from each other, especially for faculty members. And that's the kind of learning that people take pride in. They don't feel that it's enforced from above. So how do you as an institution create mechanisms whereby faculty are talking to each other? We have done a couple of things that may or may not be unique. One thing that we've done is that our classrooms are open for faculties to attend each other's lectures or entire courses. The second thing we've done is that faculty rate each other in a sort of anonymous system, but at the end of it, you get, as a faculty member, at the end of every year, a rating of how other faculty have rated you. You don't know how an individual faculty has rated you, but you get how the group of faculty has rated you. So it's kind of a mirror that's given not by management, not by somebody who's going to do your assessment, but it's only the mirror for yourself to see that what kind, and there are various questions on what dimensions am I doing well, as rated by my peers, on what dimensions do I need to improve. So that is something that is very important to us. The third thing that we do is that we form cross-campus and multidisciplinary teams on various processes that are important to us. Whether it is student mentorship, which is a very important thing, whether how to make the student ready for employability. We usually do an outbound exercise once a year where we take faculty out of the campuses for 3 or 4 days and form groups that are across disciplines or across area specializations, across campuses, and really discuss, debate, and come out with solutions for things that are important to the institution. Perhaps I feel the most important thing that we do is create avenues for faculty to engage with themselves. What we've done is that we have assigned at most of our campuses very senior people as faculty mentors who sit one-on-one with faculty and make an individual development plan. So we have a senior ex-HR executive working with us. We have Professor Devi Singh, who does this for us at one of the campuses, whereby the growth path or the development of a faculty is not related to what only their director feels about them, but there really is an external leader who comes and helps the faculty carve out a path of success for themselves, which is really not for only proving or getting some tick marks on a box of appraisal form, but it's really for the faculty to own themselves and really feel that they are progressing in their lives and careers. And if they do that, definitely it would serve the institution. We spend a great amount of some amount of money on faculty learning and development. Again, as I talked about, we organize these retreats and take larger topics. So last year we took a topic of being a teacher, and we had a lot of people from outside the business school fraternity also come and talk about what does it mean to be a teacher. This year we talked about creating learners for the 21st century, had people from different fields, so that faculty get a sort of more reflective idea of what they stand for, not only as a business school teacher, but in their careers as a teacher. Another unique thing we've done over the last 12 months is that we feel that in today's day and age, there's a lot of pressure, not only for students. I think some of the panelists talked about students being under a lot of pressure, but even for faculty. So we have given 5% of their annual appraisal based on a self-rating of what they are doing for their own health and wellness. So if you feel that you have a problem regarding your weight or lack of exercise or mental trouble, what have you done to improve your own health and wellness is actually part of the appraisal, because if you are healthy, if you are well, you will automatically serve the institution better. So I like that the topic said outcomes and implications. We've done all this, but what are the outcomes and implications? One of the outcomes that we've got is that at Jaipuria, we have extremely low faculty turnover. It says less than 10% here. In the past 12 months, it's actually 7.8%, which means that if you divide it, make that the denominator, an average faculty should spend more than 12 years once he or she joins Jaipuria. We have a high number of collaborative research papers because faculty across disciplines out of a pool of almost 100 plus faculty know each other, are able to engage with each other, learn with each other. We have gone over the last 12 months for accreditation by the Great Place to Work Institute, and we have been accredited by them. And this is accreditation based on feedback not only of faculty, but of all our employees, right from the gardener or the guard or the person serving water up to the faculty, the director, and so on. So we are proud to be accredited by them. We got a score of 77 against 83 for the top 50 companies in India. And if I talk about faculty-driven B school, I'll finish in less than that. If we talk about a faculty-driven B school, or employees acting as a driver, I said right at the start, for us, a measurement is how much pride does an employee take in their own job. And there we were rated at 85 on a scale of 100, as against 84 for the average of the top 50 companies in India. So we're very proud of that, and I hope that's something that we can work with in the B school community to take the best of each of us to develop a faculty-driven B school. Thank you.